This is Coral, this is Skelly. We're back.
All right. So the first thing I got the rectus femoris, which it is up here. It's the magenta, wherever the magenta is, from here to here. And what that one does is it flexes the hip and then it extends the knee. So then the next ones I have is the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and the vastus intermedius, and those all connect in the same spot, and those all extend the knee. And then I switched and have the back one. So we have the bicep femoris, which flexes the knee. It also laterally rotates the knee, and then it tilts the pelvis posteriorly, as well as it extends the hip. The next one I have is the semitendinous, and that's also back here. And what that does is it flexes the knee, medial rotates the knee, extends the hip, and then it also tilts the pelvis posteriorly. I also have the semimembranous, and that basically does the same thing as the semitendinous. I have the sartorius, and that one's a really hard one. And it starts here, and it wraps around. It starts up here, and it wraps around to about here. And that one actually does a lot of movements. It flexes the hip. It also laterally rotates the hip. It flexes the knee, and it medially rotates the knee, as well as it abducts. I also have the tensor fasciae latae, and what that does is it flexes the hip, medially rotates the hip, and abducts the hip.
This is Eric, this is Skelly. We're back.
All right.
Eric, here we go. All right.
For the first one, I have the gemellus inferior. So it starts right here. It comes around right here. Laterally rotates. And then I got superior also. And that is right there. And it comes around right there. That also laterally rotates. And then I got obturator superior. So that's right here. Attaches right here. Laterally rotates. And I got obturator inferior. That goes right here. And then right there. And then I got, and then you got the psoas major. So that, it comes right here. And then down to here. And then that is, it flexes the hip. It laterally rotates the hip. It tilts the pelvis anteriorly to the backside, and then it flexes the trunk, so down. And then I have psoas minor, and then that comes right here to right here, and then that tilts the pelvis posteriorly to the back. And then the last one we have is the iliacus right here. It tilts the pelvis anteriorly, flexes the hip, flexes the trunk, and then laterally rotates.
3, 2, 1.
How's it going? This is Andrew, this is Skelly.
We're back!
All right, we're gonna start with the gracilis first. It is going to adduct the hip. So add back in. It's gonna immediately rotate. It's gonna flex the knee, and it's gonna immediately rotate the knee. The next one we have is the pectineus. It is going to also adduct the hip. It's going to immediately rotate the hip, and the next one we have is the obturator internus. No, let's do the piriformis first. So it's going to laterally rotate the hip, and it's going to abduct the hip when it's flexed. So you can see how it would pull like this. Then let's do the adductor brevis. So it is going to adduct the hip. It's going to immediately rotate the hip, and let's do another adductor. So the adductor longus is also going to adduct the hip, and it's going to immediately rotate also. The magnus is a little bit different. So it is going to adduct the hip. It's going to immediately rotate, but it's also going to extend the hip, as so. The quadratus femoris is going to laterally rotate. That's another pretty basic one. And into the glutes. So we have the medius, and I think the middle child the best. It has the most. So it is going to abduct. It is also going to flex. It's going to immediately rotate, and it's going to also extend and laterally rotate. The next one is the gluteus minimus. It is going to abduct the hip, immediately rotate. It's going to flex the hip, and on to big brother, the very last one. It is going to extend the hip. It's going to laterally rotate, and it's going to ab and adduct all together. And Professor Reardon, if you actually watch this video, please say the word Lilo and Stitch to me at some point in class on test day.